Hello viewers, welcome to our channel Career Prep. In this video, we'll solve a few more questions on the topic machine input and output, where words and numbers are given in boxes in input and all the steps. Instructions if given for each step should be followed precisely. These are new pattern questions, but marks can be scored easily if practiced well. Before we start, please subscribe to our channel. Also press the bell icon to get notification as soon as we post a new video. So let's start. Read the given information carefully and answer the questions given. In the following input-output sequence, the steps are obtained by applying a certain logic. Each step is a resultant of the previous step. So here you are given an input which consists of 6 numbers, and each number is placed within a box, and each number is split into its respective digits. Also you can see here that the first and the fourth input numbers are connected in some way to get the first number of step 1. Similarly, the second and the fifth input numbers are connected in some way to get the second number of step 1. Also, the third and the sixth input numbers are connected in some way to get the third number of step 1. You will see that in step 1, each of the numbers is placed within a box and each number is split into its respective digits. In step 2, you have two numbers and each number is placed within a box and each number is split into its respective digits. In step 3, you have two numbers and each number is placed within a box. In step 4, there is only one number which is placed within a box. Step 4 is the last step of this sequence. This means step 4 is the output for this particular input. Now you are also given another input here which consists of 6 numbers. Each of the numbers is written inside a box and each number is split into its respective digits. So here first you have to find the pattern followed here to get this particular output for the given input. Now once this pattern has been identified, you have to use the same pattern on this given input of numbers and find the appropriate steps from step 1 to step 4 and then answer the given questions. So first let's find the pattern followed here from this input to this output. So as you can see here, the first and the fourth input numbers are connected in some way to get the first number of step 1. When you observe the first and the fourth input numbers carefully, you will see that the first digit of this number is added to the second digit of this number and the answer is divided by 2 to get the first digit of the first number of step 1. Similarly, the second digit of this number is added to the first digit of this number and the answer is divided by 2 to get the second digit of the first number of step 1. This means 6 plus 4 is 10. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 9 plus 7 is 16. 16 divided by 2 is 8. So 58 is the first number in step 1. Similarly, the second and the fifth numbers of the input are connected to get the second number of step 1. Here also you can see that 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 5 plus 9 is 14 and 14 divided by 2 is 7. So 47 is the second number in step 1. Also, the third and the sixth input numbers are connected to get the third number of step 1. Here also you can see that 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So 34 is the third number in step 1. So the numbers in step 1 are 58, 47 and 34. And each of these numbers is written inside a box, and each of the numbers is split into its respective digits. Now when you move on to step 2, you'll the first digit of the first number of step 1 is multiplied with the first digit of the second number of step 1, and the answer is added to the first digit of the third number in step 1 to get the first number of step 2. This means 5 multiplied by 4 is 20. 20 plus 3 is 23. So 23 is the first number of step 2. Similarly, 8 multiplied by 7 is 56, and 56 plus 4 is 60, and 60 is the second number of step 2. So 23 and 60 are the two numbers in step 2. So as you can see here, the first digits of the numbers of step 1 are used to get the first number of step 2, and the second digits of the uh, numbers of step 1 are used to get the second number of step 2. Now each of the numbers in step 2 are written within a box, and each digit is split into its respective digits. Now when you move on to step 3, you will see that the square of the first digit plus the square of the second digit of the first number of step 2 gives the first number of step 3. That is 2 squared plus 3 squared is 4 plus 9, which is 13, and 13 is the first number of step 3. Similarly, 6 squared plus 0 squared is 36 plus 0, which is 36. So 36 is the second number in step 3. So the numbers in step 3 are 13 and 36. Each of these numbers is written within a box. Now when you move on to step 4, you will see that step 4, the number in step 4 is the difference of the two numbers in step 3. That is 36 minus 13 is 23, and 23 is the number in step 4. So step 4 is the last step of this sequence. Step 4 is the output for this particular input. Now that you have found the pattern followed here to get the final output for this particular input, use the same pattern on this given input and find the appropriate steps and the final output, and then answer the given questions. This is the given input, which consists of 6 numbers. Each of the numbers in this input are written within a box, and each number is split into its respective digits. Now we have to use the same pattern followed for the input given in the question to find the output on this particular input of numbers, and find out the appropriate steps from step 1 to step 4, and also find out the final output for this given input. So this is the given input of numbers. Now as per the pattern, we know that the first and the fourth input numbers are connected to get the first number of step 1. Similarly, the second and the fifth input numbers are connected to get the second number of step 1. Also, the third and the sixth input numbers are connected to get the third number of step 1. Now, according to the pattern, we know that the first digit of um, this number is added to the second digit of this number, and the answer is divided by 2 to get the first digit of the first number of step 1. Similarly, the second digit of this number is added to the first digit of this number to get, and the answer is divided by 2 to get the second digit of the first number of step 1. This means 6 plus 8 is 14. 14 divided by 2 is 7. 3 plus 7 is 10. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So 75 is the first number in step 1. Similarly, the second and the fifth numbers are connected to get the second number of step 1. So here 1 plus 9 is 10. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 6 plus 6 is 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So 56 is the second number of step 1. And finally, the third and the sixth input numbers are connected to get the third number of step 1. So here 8 plus 4 is 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6. 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So 64 is the third number of step 1. So 75, 56 and 64 are the three numbers of step 1. Each of these numbers should be written inside a box, and each of the numbers should be split into its respective digits. Now for step 2, you know that according to the pattern, the first digit of the first number of step 1 is multiplied with the first digit of the second number of step 1, and the answer is added to the first digit of the third number of step 1. So the first digits of the three numbers of step 1 are used to get the first number of step 2. Similarly, the second digit of the first number of step 1 is multiplied by the second digit of the second number of step 1, and the answer is added to the second digit of the third number of step 1 to get the second number of step 2. Now this means that the second digits of each of the numbers of step 1 are used to get the second number of step 2. So this means 7 multiplied by 5 is 35. 35 plus 6 is 41. So 41 is the first number of step 2. Similarly, 5 multiplied by 6 is 30. 30 plus 4 is 34. So 34 is the second number of step 2. So 41 and 34 are the two numbers in step 2. So write 41 and 34 within a box and split each of these numbers into their respective digits. Now for step 3, you know that the pattern followed is the sum of the first digit of the first number of step 1 and the sum of the square of the first digit of the first number of step 2 and the square of the second digit of the first number of step 2 gives the first number of step 3. That is 4 squared plus 1 squared is 16 plus 1, which is 17. So 17 is the first number of step 3. Also, according to the pattern, 3 squared plus 4 squared is 9 plus 16. 9 plus 16 is 25 and 25 is the second number of step 3. So 17 and 25 are the two numbers in step 3 and each of the numbers has to be written within a box. Now let's move on to step 4. As per the pattern, the number in step 4 is got by subtracting the two numbers of step 3. So 25 minus 17 is 8. So 8 is the number in step 4 and 8 is written within a box. Now step 4 is the last step of this sequence. So this is the final output for this particular input. Now that we have found step 1, step 2, step 3 and step 4 and also the final output for this particular input, let's answer the given questions. Question number 1. What will be the square of the final step? Here you are given 5 options and you have to find out which of these options is the correct one. So here you have to find the square of the final step. So in the final step you have the number 8. So 8 squared is 64. So the correct answer is option C, 64. Question number 2. If the difference of step 2 is multiplied by the number in the final step, find the resultant number. Here you're given 5 options and you have to find out which of these options is the correct one. So here you have to find the difference of step 2, difference of the numbers in step 2 and multiply that number with the number in the final step and find the resultant number. So the numbers in step 2 are 41 and 34. So 41 minus 34 is 7 and the number in step 4 is 8. So 7 multiplied by 8 is 56. So the correct answer is option B, 56. Question number 3. What is the product of the smaller number of step 3 and the larger number of step 2? Here you are given 5 options and you have to find out which of these options is the correct one. So here you are asked to find the product of the smaller number of step 3 and the larger number of step 2. So you have step 3 here and the larger number here and the smaller number here in step 3 is 17. And you have step 2 here and the larger number in step 2 is 41. So 17 multiplied by 41 is 697. So the correct answer is option A, 697. Question number 4. Find the difference between the numbers of step 3. Here you are given 5 options and you have to find out which of these options is the correct one. So here you are asked to find the difference between the numbers of step 3. So you have step 3 here and the numbers here are 17 and 25. The difference between these two numbers is 25 minus 7, which is 8. So the correct answer is option D, 8. Question number 5. Find the average number of step 1. Here you are given 5 options and you have to find out which of these options is the correct one. So here you are asked to find the average of the numbers of step 1. So the numbers in step 1 are 75, 56 and 64. So you have to find the average of these three numbers. So 75 plus 56 plus 64 divided by 3 is nothing but 195 divided by 3, which is 65. So the correct answer is option C, 65. Study the following information carefully and answer the given questions. An input and output is given in different steps. Some mathematical operations are done in each step. No mathematical operation is repeated in the next step, but it can be repeated with some other mathematical operation. For example, multiplication can be used with subtraction in step 1, and multiplication can be used with addition in step 2. But multiplication with subtraction cannot be repeated in step 2. Hope you have understood this instruction. No mathematical operation is repeated in the next step, but it can be repeated with some other mathematical operation. So here you are given an input which consists of 6 numbers. Each of the numbers is written inside a box and each number is split into its respective digits. Also, it's given that the first and the second input numbers are connected in some way to get the first number of step 1. Similarly, the third and the fourth input numbers are connected in some way to get the second number of step 1. And finally, the fifth and the sixth input numbers are connected in some way to get the third number of step 1. Each of the numbers in step 1 are written inside a box and each number is split into its respective digits. In step 2, you have two numbers. Each number is written inside a box and each number is split into its respective digits. In step 3, also there are two numbers. Each number is written within a box and each of the numbers is split into its respective digits. In step 4, you have only one number and this number is written within a box and this number is also split into its respective digits. Here you can see that step 4 is the last step of this sequence. So step 4 is the final output for this given input. Now here you are given another input which consists of 6 numbers where each number is written inside a box and each number is split into its respective digits. So here first you have to find the pattern followed from the input given in this question to the to get the final output, and then use the same pattern on this given input and find the appropriate steps from the input to the final output and then answer the given questions. This is the given input in the question which consists of 6 numbers. Then you are given 4 steps and step 4 is the last step of this sequence. This means step 4 is the final output for this particular input. Now let's find the pattern followed here from the input to the output. Now it's given that the first and the second input numbers are connected in some way to get the first number of step 1. Similarly, the third and fourth input numbers are connected in some way to get the second number of step 1. And also the fifth and sixth input numbers are connected in some way to get the third number of step 1. Now as you can see here, uh, each of the input numbers is written within a box and each number is split into its respective digits. Now when you observe the input and step 1, you will see that the difference of the first digits of the first two numbers gives the first digit of the first number of step 1, and the difference of the second digits of the first and second input numbers gives the second digit of the first number of step 1. This means 6 minus 3 is 3 and 5 minus 1 is 4. So 34 is the first number in step 1. For the second number in step 1, you have to consider the third and fourth input numbers. So here 9 minus 4 is 9 minus 5 is 4. 4 minus 2 is 2. So 42 is the second number in step 1. For the third number in step 1, you have to consider the fifth and the sixth input numbers. So here 9 minus 1 is 8. 5 minus 1 is 4. So 84 is the third number in step 1. So 34, 42 and 84 are the three numbers in step 1. As you can see here, each of these numbers is written within a box and each number is split into its respective digits. Now let's move on to step 2. Now when you observe step 1 and step 2, you will see that the sum of the squares of the first digits of each number in step 1 gives the first number in step 2. The sum of the squares of the second digits of each number in step 1 gives the second number in step 2. This means 3 squared plus 4 squared plus 8 squared will give us the first number in step 2. So 3 squared plus 4 squared plus 8 squared is nothing but 9 plus 16 plus 64, which is 89. So 89 is the first number in step 2. Similarly, 4 squared plus 2 squared plus 4 squared gives us the second number of step 2. 4 squared plus 2 squared plus 4 squared is nothing but 16 plus 4 plus 16, which is nothing but 36. So 36 is the second number in step 2. So 89 and 36 are the two numbers in step 2, and each of these numbers is written within a box and each number is split into its respective digits. Now let's move on to step 3. In step 3 there are two numbers, and when you observe step 2 and step 3, you will see that the product of the first digits of the numbers in step 2 will give the first number of step 3. The product of the second digits of the numbers in step 2 gives the second number in step 3. This means 8 multiplied by 3 is 24 and 24 is the first number in step 3. 9 multiplied by 6 is 54 and 54 is the second number in step 3. So 24 and 54 are the two numbers in step 3, and each of these numbers is written within a box and each of these numbers is split into its respective digits. Now when you move on to step 4, you will see that there's only one number in step 4. Now when you observe step 3 and step 4, you will see that the two digits of the second number of step 3 are added to get a number, and that number is multiplied first with the first digit of the first number of step 3, and then this number is multiplied with the second digit of the first number of step 3, and those two numbers are added to get the number in step 4. This means first 5 and 4 are added to get 9. 5 plus 4 is 9. Now 9 is multiplied with 2 first. 9 multiplied by 2 is 18. Then 9 is multiplied with 4. 9 multiplied by 4 is 36. So 18 plus 36 is 54. So 54 is the um, number in step 4. As you can see here, step 4 is the last step of this sequence. So step 4 is the final output for this given input. Now that you have found out the pattern followed here from the input to the output, let's use this same pattern for the given input in the question and then answer the given questions. This is the given input in the question. As you can see here, there are 6 numbers in this input and each number is written within a box and each of these input numbers are split into their respective digits. Now, according to the pattern, we know that the first and the second input numbers are connected in some way to get the first number of step 1. The third and fourth input numbers are connected in some way to get the second number of step 1. And the fifth and sixth input numbers are connected in some way to get the third number of step 1. Now, according to the pattern, we know that the difference between the first digits of the first and second input numbers gives the first digit of the first number of step 1, and the difference of the second digits of the first and second input numbers gives the second digit of the first number of step 1. This means 4 minus 1 is 3, 6 minus 1 is 5, and 35 is the first number in step 1. Also, according to the pattern, we know that to find the second number of step 1, we have to consider the third and fourth input numbers. So here 3 minus 2 is 1, 8 minus 5 is 3. So 13 is the second number in step 1. And to get the third number of step 1, we have to consider the fifth and the sixth input numbers. So here 7 minus 2 is 5 and 8 minus 5 is 3. So 53 is the third number in step 1. So 35, 13 and 53 are the three numbers in step 1, and each of these numbers is should be written within a box and each number should be split to its respective digits. Now let's find the numbers in step 2. Now according to the pattern, we know that the sum of the squares of the first digits of the three numbers in step 1 will give the first number of step 2. Also, the sum of the second digits of the three numbers of step 1 will give the second number of step 2. This means 3 squared plus 1 squared plus 5 squared gives the first number of step 2. Now 3 squared plus 1 squared plus 5 squared is nothing but 9 plus 1 plus 25, which is 35. So 35 is the first number in step 2. Also 5 squared plus 3 squared plus 3 squared gives the second number of step 2. Now 5 squared plus 3 squared plus 3 squared is 25 plus 9 plus 9, which is nothing but 43. So 43 is the second number in step 2. So 35 and 43 are the two numbers in step 2. So you have to write each of these numbers inside a box, and each of these numbers have to be split into their respective digits. Now let's find the numbers in step 3. Now according to the pattern, we know that the product of the first digits of the two numbers in step 2 gives the first number in step 3. The product of the second digit of the two numbers of step 2 gives the second number of step 3. This means 3 multiplied by 4 is 12 and 12 is the first number of step 3. 5 multiplied by 3 is 15 and 15 is the second number of step 3. So write 12 and 15 within a box and split each of these numbers into their respective digits. Now let's find the number in step 4. Now according to the pattern, we know that the digits of the second number of step 3 are added, and then that number is first multiplied with the first digit of the first number of step 3, and then that number is multiplied with the second digit of the first number of step 3, and those two numbers are added to get the number in step 4. This means 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 is multiplied with 1 first and then 6 is multiplied with 2. Then those two numbers are added to get the number in step 4. So 1 plus 5 is 6 and 6 multiplied by 1 is 6 and 6 multiplied by 2 is 12. So 6 plus 12 is 18 and 18 is the number in step 4. Now step 4 is the last step of this sequence. This means step 4 is the final output for this particular input. Now that we know the final output and also the steps 1, 2, 3 and 4 from the input to the final output, let's answer the given questions. Question number 1. Find the product of the two numbers obtained in step 2. So here you are given 5 options and you have to find out which of these options is the correct one. So here you are asked to find the product of the two numbers in step 2. So you have step 2 here and the two numbers in step 2 are 35 and 43. So 35 multiplied by 43 is 1505. So the correct answer here is option B, 1505. Question number 2. Find the sum of the three numbers obtained in step 1. You're given 5 options here and you have to find out which of these options is the correct one. So here you have to find the sum of the three numbers in step 1. So you have step 1 here and the three numbers are 35, 13 and 53. So 35 plus 13 plus 53 is 101. So the correct answer is option A, 101. Question number 3. Find the difference between the two numbers obtained in step 3. Here you are given 5 options and you have to find out which of these options is the correct one. So here you are asked to find the difference between the two numbers in step 3. So you have step 3 here and the two numbers here are 12 and 15. So 15 minus 12 is 3. So the correct answer is option A, 3. Question number 4. Find the cube of the number obtained in step 4. Here you are given 5 options and you have to find out which of these options is the correct one. So here you are asked to find the cube of the number obtained in step 4. So you have step 4 here and the number in step 4 is 18. So 18 cubed is nothing but 5832. So the correct answer is option D, 5832. Question number 5. If the digits are exchanged within each box, then find the product of the two new numbers obtained in step 2. Here you are given 5 options and you have to find out which of these options is the correct one. So here it's given that you have to exchange the digits within each box. Then find the product of the two new numbers obtained in step 2. So you have step 2 here, and when the digits of each of these numbers are interchanged, you get 53 and 34. So when the digits of 35 are interchanged, you get 53, and when the digits of 43 are interchanged, you get 34. So 53 multiplied by 34 is 1802. So the correct answer is option D, 1802. Viewers, please go through this video till you have understood the concept. Practice more such problems to increase your speed and also to be perfect with the concept of input, the changes affected in the various steps, output, etc. If you have liked this video, please like, subscribe and share this video. Thank you.